Our ladies just performed a strong women's song for you that they prepared as a gift. Thank you, ladies. That was wonderful. Our next guest is Mary Hubba Lafford. Everybody calls her Hubba. She's our in-house elder, and she will be doing the opening prayer.
Just brought tears to my eyes. It was so beautiful. Gisuk, olaliek dandel mawaliek giskugla wenjigom. Awalaliek dana delia bahon mawagen in koijish. Modi jikisko. Ahola sikirawa. Muena chiaskayo goe. Edawe uchitande sieg, wolodi, bedausuri, sigeworon, amawenaskaya goy. Kadwa, waldasi aim gisco, a holdas wal no I moody okilo, a ha waldas wal kick squidgino widida jikuneka, or wula widjual. A ha waldas walka, nimi nukdida, avidicum. Well, last year, good to see you again. Well, all you and I'll fix it now. All you and I'll born we sit down this year. I'm sitting up, ma. Well, all you, thank you.
Thank you, Hubba. Our next guest is a chief who is newly elected. She's Chief Andrea Paul from Pictou Landing First Nation, and she's going to give a welcome to the territory.
Hi, I just wanted to say welcome to the Mi'kmaq territory, and I want to say congratulations to the 15 graduates that you should be very proud of yourselves, and I know your communities are very proud of you. And like Hubba, the drumming was just beautiful. Usually you hear the men drumming, so it's always nice to see when women are drumming and chanting. It was absolutely beautiful. And congratulations to each and every one of you, and hope you have a great day, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
I'd like to recognize a couple of our guests here in the audience. We have Deputy Mayor Diane Roberts, Warden Herb Delaney, thanks for coming again, 2 years in a row. Thanks, if you want to stand up. We also have Rose Julie, graduate from last year. We have community members here from St. Mary's where we did our field trip. Thank you for coming. I'd like to introduce our next guest, who is the director of the Coady and the vice president of St. Francis Xavier University, Dr. John Gaventa, to say a few words.
Thank you, Sheila. Thank you, Elder Hubba. Your presence, not just today, but throughout the program, every day, has been a blessing to us all. Thank you, Chief Paul, for your welcome to the Mi'kmaq territory. Thank you for all of you from the community for your support, and for all of you for coming here today. As director of the Coady Institute and speaking as vice president of St. FX University, I particularly would like to congratulate the graduates of the 2012 class of the Indigenous Women in Community Leadership Program. Just a few months ago, in April of this year, each of you came from across Canada, from 7 provinces, from 1 territory, with a huge desire to learn, to build on your experiences, to make a difference back in your communities. You have brought great energy and drive to the Institute. You've brought an openness to sharing with the wider Coady community and our participants from around the world. You've shared your experiences and your cultures. Coady and St. FX are so proud to be able to support this program and so inspired from each of you about how you've engaged, how you've learned, and what you've accomplished. I also want to thank others who have given so much to this program. Thanks to the mentors. Your leadership and support of the participants has added so much wisdom to the learning here at Coady, not just for the participants, for our staff as well. Thanks to the communities that hosted our IWICL participants. Many of you may be watching online today. We hope that you've been enriched by the experience and that these connections with the participants will remain strong. Thanks to Sheila for her leadership, to Linda Jones for the leadership of the International Center of Women's Leadership, to all the facilitators and staff who work so closely. Your hard work and energies have created a warm and wonderful learning environment. Thanks also to our representatives from Imperial Oil and ExxonMobil. We thank you not only for the financial support that's made this program possible, but for the way in which you've partnered with us to learn along the way to make this program a success. One of the aims of this program is to provide practical skills to help shape plans and projects that enable our graduates to make an immediate impact in their own communities. And over the last 4 months, in the classroom or in field work or doing research, each of you have expanded your leadership, your skills, and your knowledge. Last week, I had the opportunity to listen to these graduates as they shared back some of what they've learned and gained from the program. I heard powerful stories of working together to mobilize assets in the community, to protect the land, to empower the youth, to strengthen literacy. As one of you said so eloquently, mobilizing assets means you focus on all the strengths of the community which bring you wealth. Moses Coady would be clapping if he were here today. But I also heard powerful stories not of only mobilizing our physical and economic assets. I heard powerful stories of the importance of healing, of overcoming violence, of reconciliation, of reclaiming and building our identities. These aren't only the material assets of the community, but they're the cultural and spiritual assets which keep our community strong and which help build for the future. I know from the passion and commitment that I heard from each of you that you'll continue in this journey to build your communities. But through building these communities, you enrich our society as a whole and the world writ large. And today, as you graduate, you will not do this alone. You join the network of your other IWICL sisters. You join the network of your mentors. But you also join the network of thousands of graduates, of Coady graduates in 130 countries around the world who are united in your vision of using your leadership to build the wealth of your communities in all of its many forms. Congratulations and good luck in the future.
It's only natural to have the prayer and the welcome and the words from the director before I wanted to say some words myself. My name is Sheila Isaac, and I am the program manager for the Indigenous Women and Community Leadership Program. And I've been truly blessed to know these women and to work on this program, to build it from scratch. And to see the growth this year was just amazing. Like, you wouldn't believe. And I have to say a few words about what happened this year in our program. I heard the ladies talk about stresses, how difficult things were. I don't know how many times I heard hard. It's so hard. This is hard. I'm stressed. This is like, I don't know if I can do it. I heard those things, and at the same time, through working on their projects, they were healing each other. They were helping each other. They were learning how to deal with the stresses and the hardships. And in the last week and a half since they've come back, because the way the program works is that they come for 3 weeks in May, and they learn about Aboriginal history, they learn about asset-based community development, they learn about proposal writing, they learn about positive interpersonal engagement strategies, they learn about all kinds of tools and skills that they're going to use while they're on their 3-month placement. And I think that was a whirlwind in May because it was so much thrown at them, and they absorbed it all, and they all attended class really good, and they got to meet their mentors who are in the second row here. We have 4 here, right here, and we have 2 over here that you'll get to meet a little bit, some of them. And the importance of that is that they get to see who is mentoring them, because a lot of times the mentor is not in the same community as them, because these women are from across Canada. So I thought that was important for them to see the face of the person that they would be speaking to weekly as part of their program. So they went out and they worked on all kinds of very interesting projects, which I hope you have time to stop by and see on the 2nd floor in room 252, because they're all amazing. I was blown away. Like, I had goosebumps that were like, it was like a scrub board. I could have done some laundry on my arm, I also cried twice, but they didn't see it. I really am touched by the work that they have done. It's truly amazing. I'd also like to thank the Coady staff, Mary Vanden Heuvel, who has made this program such a success, for her involvement in the program. Thank you. Not only am I truly blessed to work with these ladies, but I'm truly blessed to work at the Coady, because when I needed help, I could turn to anybody, pretty much. And I hope that you can forgive me for maybe some of my boldness and for some of my last-minute requests for help. I would also like to thank, really truly, Imperial Oil and ExxonMobil for funding this program, this important program, this one-of-a-kind program in the world. Really, thank you. What I want you to learn right now from this whole process that I've been a part of is that these women know how to stand up for themselves individually. They know how to stand up for each other. I haven't seen that kind of camaraderie and leadership. That's true leadership, really. Every time, Devin, when you stood up for yourself in class, you don't know about this whole story, but she stood up for herself and she taught everybody else in the class that you gotta stand up for yourself first sometimes. It's like being on the plane. You gotta put that mask on first before you can put it on your child, right? Well, these ladies have learned how to do that. And I'm looking at 15 Aboriginal women leaders right now. Thank you. Right now, we're going to hear from our guest speaker. I heard her speak in October, and as part of the program, I'm always trying to think about who am I going to get as a guest speaker, who am I going to get as a mentor, who am I trying to build on the program all the time. And I heard this lady speak, and I was at the Truth and Reconciliation Commission for 4 days, and I heard a lot of people speak, but she touched me. And I looked for her everywhere. I knew her first name, but I didn't know her last name, and I thought to myself, I gotta find this lady, and lo and behold, I find her. And she's here today, She has the Order of Canada. She's a residential school survivor. She's a true leader, and you're going to be very impressed by Sarah Anala.
Do I need this? I think I might. First of all, I'd like to thank Sheila for finding me. It was really positive tenacity to find me. It took from October till July. And come to find out, one of her best friends is a colleague of mine at the end of it. I usually speak from my heart and from my spirit, but I'm aware of time, so I wrote. I kind of make myself think of Sharon Shorty. She's Grandma Susie on APTN, and you ask me why? Because my knee highs are down to my ankles. They slipped. I'd like to thank the Coady Institute, St. Francis of Xavier, I say Xavier, Francis of Xavier University, ExxonMobil, Imperial. Thank you for having me. Sarah Analavunga, nain Labrador mi inulisi maktunga, nunatsiavung muliktuk manna. My name is Sarah Anala. I was born in Nain, Labrador, which is now known as Nunatsiavut. I've developed several teaching tools and assessment tools over the years. I had noticed that the First Nations had the medicine wheel and all kinds of teaching instruments, and none were done in Inuktitut or in the Inuit culture. So my elders told me, you can do it. So I done it. And one of them I have called the Inuit Makitautingit. And Inuit Makitautingit means that which makes an Inuk stand in an honorable way. So in speaking of Indigenous women in community leadership, I have chosen to utilize Inuit Makitautingit. As you can see it later on, those of you who are far, far away. It's done in the form of an Inukshuk, which is about guidance and direction. When one stands in an honorable way, one is already being seen by our community as a leader. One of the most important guides, which my elders had taught me early in life, is to never compromise my Inuit culture, traditions, and the Inuit way. That sometimes comes across as being a nonconformist, but that's okay. Because our way worked for millennia, between 6,000 to 9,000 years before the coming of the strangers across the waters. And welcome to you, strangers from across the water. Upon encouraging me to finish school, the message of my late father, and humitialuk. My humitialuk, in my Inuit world, we have fictive relationships which are sometimes stronger than blood relationships. And my humitialuk was in my life from the time I was born in 1946 until he passed in 2000. And this is what they said to me, with me still playing on their knees, was, you must finish your schooling. We can't speak English and don't understand the Halunat way. Halunat is the white man in a respectful way, like you say Chinese and French and Japanese and English. And it's not a derogatory term like Eskimo is. Very Inuk. Wherever you may go, or wherever you may move, never forget your language, your culture, traditions. Sorry. My page. Traditions. Okay. Ethos and the Inuit way. Go and learn the Halunat way and Halunat language to be able to use it better than they use their own language. When you're finished, come back and help us stand. I have ever since. It is important to communicate in the Halunat world in a manner that their psyche and purpose understands and fathoms to get the real result you want to successfully attain your goal. Talk to them the way they talk, in the language that they understand and speak, even if it's big Webster dictionary words. Inuit Makitautingit begins with the foundation of trust. The foundation is the dome of the Iluvirak, because there's nothing in the Halunat science equal to an Iluvirak's ingenuity and structure, the geniusness of an Inuk. The Iluvirak is, in the Halunat world, they call it igloo, but it's an Iluvirak. The Iluvirak is of Inuit, from Inuit to Inuit. It bespeaks of our survival as a peoples. In life, to be in leadership, we must espouse trust not only in ourselves, but in ourselves as Indigenous peoples, and also trust in the process. Trust in ourselves as Indigenous women, and in the process, fosters being seen as having credibility and expertise. Believe me. The left leg of the Inuksuk Inuit Makitautingit is truth. My elders and fathers' teaching is that my Inuit word is my honor. Here, truth is also about the truth from one's core and center in dealing with all life form and all life force. In the Inuit healing philosophy, states of being, and becoming. We pay great attention to the states of be. I'm in the state of be. And I'm in my state of being, and I am in the state of becoming a better person for my people. The right leg is honesty. As they say, without honesty, one has no leg to stand on. It means presenting and living in an honest manner, presenting one's center core truth in an honest way. Misrepresentation serves no purpose, as you have easily learned about lateral violence, racism, residential school syndrome, dislocation and dispossession, and other historical traumas which were not presented in an honest way. To lead well, one must be honest. The next block of the Inukshuk is courage. We as Indigenous women must be courageous and brave to stand for causes that are not popular or pretty. The important thing is that whatever cause for which we stand must create social change in consciousness and deed for the betterment of our Indigenous women and children, even for our men, because we are a community. Yep. Strength is the next part of the whole of the Inukshuk. We cannot work in isolation. We must build a network of like minds and like deeds to create a better world. There is strength in numbers. Some of what with which you will be helping our peoples in community leadership will take every fiber of Aboriginal fortitude and strength to bring to fruition. Inner strength is what made our ancestors survive the Spanish flu, the dog slaughters, the passing around of smallpox blankets, the residential schools. And it is that ancestral and personal strength which has propelled you to take on this path of your journey. Patience, Inuit from time immemorial to today, is the biggest teaching the elders continue to give. It means patience with yourself, with others, the process, and the world as it presents itself on any given day. The world will sometimes give you gold, and sometimes it'll give you something that rhymes with the pits. Impatience gives rise to shoddy work, ineffective results, and time and effort lost, which is precious when we stand for our peoples. Every positive moment is precious when we are doing the Creator's work, and when we are giving life to the instructions of our ancestors and elders. Remember, the instructions of our ancestors and elders. That's where you're walking now. I'm not used to working with paper. Modern Inuk now computer. They're stuck together too. That's all right. I'll eventually get there. Yeah, we were talking about courage, right? Patience. And there are times when we stand for our people that recognition and accolades might be part of one's life journey. At these times, the teachings tell us that we must walk in humility. The teaching, walk softly with a big stick, has served me well. Many of my co-workers have no idea that I was the first Inuk from Nain, first Inuk nurse from Nain, or that I have the Order of Canada. among other recognitions. My elders and my father told me never to puff up my chest in great might or false pride, but walk in gratitude and humility for the path my Creator and ancestors had set before me. When I was born, my Inuatsuk, which is another fictive relationship, it's the midwife who was born me before the coming of medical services. When I was born, my Inuatsuk had said, oh my, a lot of love in the voice. This one this little one will have a smart and wise mind. Those predictions were never questioned, but nurtured and honored humility. Next comes respect. Respect for all life form and life force in the people world, the land world, sea world, wind world, sky world, and all that within them lies. All are interconnected. One cannot have life without the other. Therefore, respect for one is respect for all. Honor for one is honor for all. Then there is love. The teaching is that we cannot possibly like everybody and everything and everyone, but we must love all things, for the Creator made all things with and in love. Unconditional love gives balance, peace, harmony, and goodwill. With goodwill, one cannot go wrong in leadership. No matter, you can't. It means goodwill in thought, attitude, behavior, and deed, and negative force cannot exist in the same vessel as these attributes. And goodwill means one cannot do things in ill will. Ill will is destructive to leadership. That is why women are strong leaders, because we are mothers, daughters, aunts, nieces, grandmothers, the backbone of the home and community, and carry nurturing and nourishing. A gift to the Indigenous woman from the Creator and our ancestors. Gifts are precious and special, and these gifts are the traditional and contemporary roles and responsibilities of Indigenous women. That is why we are forced to be reckoned with. Not only a force to be reckoned with, but honored. Honored women are not abused women, and we in Indigenous women in leadership will honor each other every day that we do good to lead in our communities. The head of the Inuksuk is wisdom. Wisdom to apply traditional and contemporary knowledge to all our thought patterns, attitude of gratitude, and behavior and deeds that honor our state of womanhood. Our state of womanhood. Wisdom to know, the gift to know. Knowledge and wisdom are self and community self-empowering, and are much admired by our fellow Indigenous peoples, being able to think wise thoughts, having wise attitudes, making wise decisions and choices, and doing wise deeds and actions. Always trust your gut. It's the voice of our spiritual guides and the inner voice of wisdom. Follow your dreams and your aspirations. It is the path that was laid out for each one of you for your life journey. The Creator put you here for a purpose and a reason, and your path was destined but a traveling. So I wish you all a good traveling, and lead well in body, mind, spirit, emotions, and behavior. It is possible. I stand here, a residential school survivor, a sexual abuse survivor, survivor of lateral violence, a survivor of racism and intolerance, but most of all, I stand here as an empowered Inuk woman elder, considered a leader, a mentor. Why? Because I listened to the teachings of our people and never ever compromised my identity, my culture, traditions, and the Inuit way in my earth traveling, and stayed true to the best of my daily ability to my Inuit makitauting, it. Nakumik.
Just wait, okay?
Where's the mic? One of the things I have learned in my long journey is whether I'm talking to the Governor General or to my daughter, is to try to the best of my ability to never stress over stuff. And I've learned not to be so bound by the norms of mores of the non-Aboriginal world, but play or listen stronger to the protocols of my own world, the Inuit way, the Inuit culture, and my identity. Nakumik.